have Carrie sit here because she's got to do the duties, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can move me wherever.
Well, it's
Or
gonna
when
be
I'm done,
much more
yeah, I
efficient
know,
for
well,
you.
Yeah.
It's just fine.
I know, that was me not to.
Your one needed triple. That's what needs medication. Yeah, that thing's.
Former athlete, Sarah Masterson. She graduated in 2014. I was inducted into Minnesota Tennis Coaches Hall of Fame. She came to the ceremony. This is the most gold Minnesota award. I just got chills. I got chills. So yeah, repping Sarah as well. I'm gonna wait a few
Would you
minutes.
rather, I was gonna say, would you rather move Rich should sit there?
No.
Okay. Whatever's easiest. Because you're actually up
I'm
there
gonna
with us.
wait for 5. We still have 5 minutes. I'm not gonna start. Isn't it 4:55? I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, and I don't know if I really want everybody to see it. Seemed like there was more than that.
Yes, yeah, I think we're still.
We're socializing.
I know there's some conflicting events tonight. You know there always is. Isn't there? How do you know?
But I like March better than April and May.
Yeah, and that's why we keep it in March because of the National Women's History Month, which I'll say as well.
Kind of nice.
Wait a few more minutes. The women are going to be seated, and then we'll usher in. What do you think? Are we ready? Start at 5. Should I start? Walk slow until my turn. They'll be fine. Wait for Nick to stop the music.
You might as well start. You're going to continue. You might as well start.
Should I start? Oh, we got a few more. Here he is.
Just good you.
Welcome to the Brainerd Public Schools Legendary Women Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tonight will be a wonderful evening celebrating 5 inspirational women. My name is Lisa Salo. On behalf of the Legendary Women Organizing Committee and Brainerd Public Schools Archives, I welcome all of you, our in-person audience, our live stream audience, and a special welcome to our Legendary Women inductees, their families, and friends. We are grateful to have all of us together as we celebrate you, Legendary Women, your journeys, and the impact you have had on the lives of so many others. At this time, please silence your electronic devices. Thank you. I would like to note the music that you heard as you were seated for the ceremony was from one of our Legendary Women inductees, Shayla Paradise. Shayla, go ahead and wave. Thank you, Shayla, for sharing your inspiring music with us this evening. 8 years ago, in the hallway near the high school library, we held our first Legendary Women Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I remember us squished in the confines of the hallway on folding chairs. The podium was from a classroom, and it was quite tall. I recall grabbing a few books from the library to stand on so I could reach the microphone. And I don't have any issue with this microphone and podium. Fast forward to this evening, and now we are here celebrating in this beautiful space, the Gichi-ziibi Center for the Arts. This ceremony is intentionally scheduled for March, which is National Women's History Month. And no matter the space in which we gather, this classy and memorable event has now celebrated 65 remarkable women for their exceptional achievement, leadership, and service. In your program, you will find an insert which lists the women and career path or paths they took once they graduated from Brainerd High School. Several of these women are here in our audience, some from the days of the hallway ceremonies. I ask these women, please stand so we can applaud you one more time. We thank our newest inductees for humbly saying yes to this honor and sharing your journeys with us, your hometown community. You represent diverse careers, vocations, and experiences. However, what you have in common is Brainerd Public Schools, where you began your path of excellence, leadership, and service, which continues to inspire and impact your communities and beyond. Your journeys remind us we all have a story to share. And in the smallest, what may seem to be insignificant moments, we might be the ones who inspire a set of curious eyes. The ones who provide the words, actions, and sometimes just the silence and a smile to encourage a young woman or little girl to take the next step, so she will dream big, value her skills, and value her voice. I encourage all of us to share our stories, but most importantly, to listen to the stories of others, to embrace the diversity and uniqueness within each of us. We all have the ability to empower, to learn, and to serve. For over 150 years, graduates of Brainerd Public Schools have experienced opportunity, innovation, and success through what are called the 4 A's. They are academics, arts, activities, and athletics. To highlight each of these areas, we have current students who will share a message on their experience in one of these 4 A's. To introduce our speakers, I welcome Brainerd High School Principal, Dr. Carrie Bozer.
Before I introduce our student leaders, I would like to take a moment to recognize our honored leaders. Your leadership, your willingness to take risks, and your commitment to supporting others have inspired the next generation to step forward, lead, and act on their ideas. That is what true leadership is. I also want to recognize those who helped bring this event to life. This is my first year here, and experiencing this group of leaders is amazing. The work it takes to organize and facilitate, it's a year in the making. Your vision and effort created an opportunity to celebrate and elevate women leaders in our community. Thank you for the work behind today's event. And please stand, those of you that are in the audience, please stand that partake in any part of this event. Again, it takes a vision, and then it takes action, and that's what true leadership is. The women we honor as legendary women once walked the same paths as the 4 young women we have asked to speak today. They sat in classrooms, participated in activities, and built their leadership right here. Today, our students continue that journey in our hallways, on our fields and courts, and in our classrooms and labs. While the experiences we offer evolve to meet the needs of our students and community, our commitment remains the same. We strive to provide meaningful opportunities and a strong foundation that prepares every student for what comes next. That is what it means to be a Brainerd Public School student. I now have the honor to introduce our first student leader representing academics. Gabriella Bratner, could you please come to the podium?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here today. Tonight, we celebrate 5 incredible women who are leaders, innovators, and role models who once sat in the same classrooms as I do now. And while their careers and accomplishments are each unique, they all share something in common, a strong foundation in learning, which started here in Brainerd ISD 181. When we think about academics, it's often reduced to grades, assignments, or test scores. But the women we are honoring tonight remind us that academics are not just about what we know. They're about how we grow and the experiences we gain with them. At Brainerd Public Schools, my experiences in academics have taught me so much, including how to file taxes, analyze galvanic cells, calculate the volume of tori, review major court cases, and so much more. But this is just the surface. My time in academics with the incredible people I get to call teachers has revealed so much more to me. In AP Government, we've been learning about the countless court cases, some of which establish the foundation of our country. Learning about all of these, on top of the history I've learned in countless previous years, has opened my eyes to how incredible our country is, and has shown me every hardship and battle that has been fought to grant us the rights we have today. Just over 100 years ago, women were still fighting for their right to vote. Now, look at how far we've come. Furthermore, in AP Literature and Composition, through short stories and writings, I've learned the power of words and developed a voice for myself. Through writing, I began to understand my own values and what matters to me. That confidence to speak, to share ideas, and to stand behind them is something that connects all 5 of the incredible women honored here today. And in economics, I gained practical knowledge that, honestly, probably prepared me for my future more so than any other class I've had, at least practically speaking. I learned how to buy a car, review a lease, trade stocks, and file taxes. But beyond these skills, I learned how to make informed decisions and think critically about the world around me. This sense of independence and responsibility is another trait we see in the women in the Hall of Fame, who took what they learned and used it to build meaningful lives and careers. But one of the most important lessons I've learned about academics is that growth doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence and sticking with it, even when it's hard, or in my case, even when it sounds awful. During my time in Brainerd High School's Wind Symphony, I was a part of a six-person triangle ensemble that, to be honest, didn't sound quite as polished as we hoped, and rather sounded more like raccoons digging in garbage cans. But we showed up, trusted each other, and performed with confidence anyway. And we got the loudest applause of concert night. In the end, it wasn't perfection that mattered. It was the courage to walk out on that stage, trust my companions, and give it all I had. These same ideas apply to academics, and even more, to life. The women we honor tonight didn't get where they are by being perfect. They got there by working hard and by continuing to learn, even when things were challenging or uncertain. As students, we are still in the early chapters of our stories. But through academics, we are building the skills that will shape who we become. We are learning more than just some random facts. We are learning empathy, confidence, and resilience. Looking ahead, I intend to pursue a career in medicine. Academics has already begun preparing me. Through science and coursework, but also by teaching me how to listen, communicate, and teach others with dignity, Brainerd Schools has given me many of the skills I will need to succeed in my future. This is the lasting impact of education. To the women being inducted tonight, thank you for showing us what's possible, and congratulations. Your journeys remind us that what we are learning today has the power to shape not only our futures, but the communities we will one day serve. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Thank you, Gabriella. Our next speaker representing the arts, Serena Caspers, is unable to be here. We have recorded her speech that she intended to deliver, and we'll share with those who would like it after our ceremony. A brief summary of her message, though, was, Serena reflects on how her involvement in the arts, especially choir and theater, shaped both her high school experience and her personal growth. She shares how these experiences built her confidence, strengthened her resilience, and deepened her sense of connection, while helping her find her voice and take risks. She concludes that the arts do more than create performers. They develop strong, capable individuals who carry these skills into the future. And we're sorry she can't be here, but she wanted to make sure that we shared her message. Now I would like to welcome Addison Harrigus to the podium to represent activities.
Good evening. My name is Addison Harrigus, and I'm a senior at Brainerd High School. I would first like to thank you all for being here to support all these wonderful women and allowing me to speak about activities at Brainerd High School. Throughout school, from elementary to now, I have always wanted to push myself to do the most. I've taken numerous advanced classes, played sports, volleyball, basketball, and lacrosse, and been a part of clubs. Although all these opportunities have helped me in different ways, I believe that it is important to reflect on clubs and what they have to offer. I started to join clubs and get involved with my school and community when I was in middle school. While many of my fellow classmates went to middle school at Forest View, I lived in southeastern Wisconsin at this time, so my experiences were different. There wasn't a builders club or unified program for me to be a part of, but there was a student council. So I joined that one club. Even though there weren't many opportunities to volunteer or represent my school and community, this one club showed me how important it is to find those opportunities, especially when I went to high school. So flash forward to high school, when I moved to Brainerd, and I realized how many opportunities there are to get involved in. Personally, I am a member of Key Club, the Lighthouse Project, Student Council, an editor of Yearbook, and the president of HOSA, Future Healthcare Professionals. But there are many other clubs and our school offers to cater to other interests like cooking, agriculture, the environment, volunteering, and so much more. Also, some of the clubs I'm a part of have different ways to appeal to the members in them. For example, in our student council, we have committees that focus on different tasks for the school. I am the chairperson of the dance committee, and this means that I lead the planning, organizing, and setup for our school dances, C-ball, and prom. I choose to be a part of the dance committee because our school dances are some of my favorite parts of the school year, and I want to be included in the planning of them. However, we also have volunteer, activities, advertisement, and Pep Fest committees in order to appeal to the interest of others. Overall, the point I'm trying to make is that there are countless ways to be involved in our school and community, and this applies to everyone here. There are many volunteer opportunities that appeal to everyone and aren't only attainable by being in a club. I also think it is important to notice how you will feel after serving our community. Not only does our community service benefit our community and the people in it, but according to the Mayo Clinic, it also improves physical and mental health, provides a sense of purpose, and nurtures relationships. So, I leave you all with a challenge. I challenge you to spend some time helping our community. This could be as simple as volunteering at the soup kitchens once, or signing up for a permanent role in a volunteer organization. Whatever it is, notice how you feel after doing it, because I bet it will feel better than you did before. With that, I would like to thank you again for being here and supporting all of these women. Have a good night.
Thank you, Addison. And now I would like to welcome our final student speaker, Cora Clow, to speak on athletics.
Hi, my name is Cora Clow, and I'm a senior here at BHS. Today, I will be representing Brainerd Warrior Athletics. When I was younger, I used to look up at the older girls in the court and dream about being in their shoes. Now that I'm a senior, I finally understand the responsibility and privilege of being someone else's inspiration. BHS has allowed me to be a three-sport athlete by competing in volleyball, basketball, and track and field. Competing in volleyball, basketball, and track hasn't just filled my schedule, it's shaped who I am. Basketball taught me how to lead and stay calm under pressure. Track pushed me to compete not just against others, but against myself, showing me what I'm capable of when I refuse to quit. And volleyball reminded me that success is never just about one person. It's about trust, communication, and teamwork. Through every practice, every early morning, and every tough loss, I've learned discipline, resilience, and the heart for competing. This season for volleyball didn't go the way I had hoped, but it taught me more than any winning season could have. I learned what it truly means to lead and to push myself and my teammates to give everything we had until the very last point of every match. Basketball ended in a tough loss that's still hard to accept, but through that sport, I've gained some of my best friends and learned that the relationships you build and the lessons you carry matter more than anything. Track has taught me so much more than just how to compete. It has pushed me to believe in myself, even when you want to quit running, especially in the 4x4. I'm incredibly grateful for my coaches who constantly support me, challenge me, and believe in my potential. They helped me grow not only as an athlete, but also as a person. In my sophomore year of high school, I competed at the 2024 state track and field meet. At that meet, I ended up placing first in high jump, and I also broke the Brainerd Warrior school record that same year. Again, I'm so very thankful for my coaches that have pushed me and helped me improve every day. Last year didn't go as I expected. During my basketball season last January, I ended up tearing my ACL. In a moment, everything changed. The season I had been working so hard for was suddenly over, and I was left watching from the sidelines instead of being on the court with my team. It was one of the hardest moments I faced as an athlete. I missed out on my junior season of track and field and spent most of my spring in rehab, working every day just to get back to the athlete I once was. At the time, it felt like everything had been taken away from me, the competition, the team, the feeling of doing what I loved. Instead of being on the track, I was learning patience, pushing through slow progress, and trying to stay motivated when results didn't come quickly. 6 months after surgery, I was finally cleared to compete again. That moment came during the same week as volleyball tryouts. I didn't have months to ease back in or time to feel completely ready. It wasn't easy, but my body wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be, and mentally, I was still learning to trust myself again. Looking back, I realized that the injury, the rehab, and the comeback were all part of a bigger journey. They reminded me what it truly means to be a warrior. Being a Brainerd Warrior isn't just about winning games or setting records. It's about showing up when things are hard, pushing through adversity, and never giving up on yourself or your team. I'm proud to be part of a program that has shaped me not only as an athlete, but also as a person. And that's something I'll carry with me long after my time as a Warrior. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
You certainly have begun your paths of excellence, leadership, and service. There is no doubt, and we're excited to see where your futures unfold. The Legendary Women Organizing Committee has been intentional about building multi-generational involvement with this event. Our students are the heartbeat of our district, and we are grateful for their time and presence here this evening. We thank our 4A speakers, our student escorts, whom you'll meet shortly, student ushers, and their coaches and advisors. I have a special shout out to the girls' golf team who is here in our audience. This is the 3rd year they have joined us as a team. Head coach Carissa Haugen and her staff build this opportunity into their schedule as a way for their athletes to serve our community as a team. As a retired Warrior tennis coach, I totally understand the value of these types of unique events. They deepen connections and relationships within the team and build a culture of pride and belonging, just as Warriors do. So, girls golf, athletes and coaches, please stand. I'm going to have you stand and wave. And audience, yeah, we're going to give them a round of applause. And stay standing because they're in season right now. And so, you know what, I'm going to go on 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to give a shout out, Go Warriors. Why not? Okay? 1, 2, 3. Go Warriors. Good luck, ladies, this season. I welcome Sarah Spear, Chair of the School Board for Brainerd Public Schools.
Thank you, Lisa. And what a tough act to follow. Oh my goodness, these students. Can we give them one more round of applause, please? Incredible. Oh, it is such a joy to be here with all of you tonight. This is an event I know we all look forward to. And on behalf of Brainerd Public Schools, congratulations to our honorees and their representatives. We are so proud of you. Tonight is about recognition, but even more than that, it's about reflection on where we come from, what we value, and just what are we going to pass on to the next generation. I'm sure you got to spend some time reminiscing out in the lobby and maybe seeing a few of the photos and thinking, I definitely don't remember that haircut looking like that. A little time for reflection. But last week, I had an opportunity to sit on a panel alongside a handful of business leaders for a Shark Tank-style pitch session in our entrepreneurship class. And the students stood up, each group, and they presented their business ideas that they've been putting together all semester. One of them was hallway snack delivery, which custom-ordered snacks delivered between classes, come on. I have to say it was pretty compelling, and honestly, where was that when I was in school? But what was striking to me wasn't just the creativity, it was the confidence of these students. They were thinking through problems and using the same tools that I use at work to figure them out. And sitting there, I thought, you know, this isn't where it starts. Actually, this is where it starts. Sorry, I read my notes wrong. This is exactly where it starts. It's not fully formed, not perfect, but it's possibility. The women we're honoring tonight didn't start as legendary women, although your parents might argue differently, and I'll let them. They started in our classrooms with curiosity and willingness to try something new, even if you didn't have it all figured out. Tori, Judy, Teresa, Cheryl, and Shayla and your families, thank you. Thank you for the lives you've lived and the example you continue to set. Each of you took that early spark and turned it into something really meaningful. You advanced healthcare, led organizations, served communities, created opportunities for others, and went on some really, really, really long walks. many times in spaces where you had to carve out your own path, which is, as we all know, not an easy route. You remind us that leadership doesn't look just one way, it shows up in many forms. To our community tonight, thank you. Events like this don't happen by accident. They happen because we're a part of a community that believes in public education. We believe in investing in young people, and we believe those investments really matter. Tonight is proof of that, because every one of these women started here in a place that invested in them and helped shape who they would become. And to our students, and I know we have some here, thank you. This night is for you too. The stories you hear here tonight are not just about accomplishments, they're about possibility. They're about what can happen when curiosity is encouraged, when hard work is really expected, and when someone believes in you. Every one of you has something to offer, and I cannot wait to see it unfold. And as you look at these women, I hope you see not just who they are today, but what's possible for you tomorrow. And to our honorees, one more thank you. Thank you for carrying your Brainerd roots with you and for giving back. You are the legacy of Brainerd Public Schools. And you are helping shape what comes next, from a classroom to a career to this real legacy. To everyone here tonight, thank you for being part of this community. Let's continue to support one another. Let's continue to believe in our schools. And let's keep building something truly special here, where possibility has a real place to grow. Congratulations to our 2026 legendary women. We are so proud to call you warriors.
Thank you, Sarah, for your message. And now, to the induction portion of the ceremony. Each woman will receive a beautiful certificate, Compliments of Lakes Printing. Co-owner Kevin Thiesing and his staff have been exceptional to work with throughout the years and provide professionally printed materials for this event. Kevin, you're out there. Where are you? Wave. He's there. There he is. Thank you, Kevin, and staff. Thank you. In addition to the certificate, each woman will receive a unique handcrafted wooden bowl adorned with a Bavarian style of decorative folk painting called Bowen Malerai. These bowls were designed and hand-painted by committee member Heather Smith Dunnick, 1988 BHS graduate. Heather designed this gift with the legendary women in mind, and as you can see, her work is exceptional, a keepsake which we believe each legendary woman will cherish. Heather added a message to each gift, which I would like to share. The artwork design represents center rows, each legendary woman. Daisy on the left, a nod to her past. Daisy on the right, a nod to the future. Tiny blossoms on the left, those who have walked with her in the past. And tiny blossoms on the right, those in the future who will benefit by her influence. At this time, our 5 legendary women and their escorts will move to the auditorium seating for better viewing of the presentation. Go ahead, gals, you can head to the auditorium. And while they're doing that, I welcome committee members Heather Smith Dunnick, creator of the wooden bowls, and Sherry De La Hunt to assist with the ceremony. And I welcome committee member Lauren Nickish, a 1971 BHS grad, and a legendary Women Hall of Famer herself, inducted in 2020. Lauren will share the inspirational journeys of our new inductees.
Dr. Tori Barr, BHS class of 2005. Dr. Barr is a woman of vision, active in BHS orchestra, track and field, cross country, mock trial, and triathlon. She earned honor roll status every semester, graduating honors with distinction, and receiving a Minnesota State High School League AAA award for academics, arts, and athletics. Following graduation, Tori opted for a gap year, becoming a PCA for a young woman with muscular dystrophy. She writes, "I learned so much about disability and ableism, the power of a physician's keyboard for misery and good, and what it means to really listen so someone can thrive." Over the next decade, Tori earned a BS in biology and a BA in chemistry, both summa cum laude at Augsburg College in Minneapolis, an MD from the School of Medicine at the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis, and completed residency and chief residency in internal medicine pediatrics at the University of Minnesota Medical Center in 2019. I discovered this world of patients that didn't fit the mold, had outlived their life expectancy, were survivors and thrivers with hopes and dreams, says Tori. I saw the challenge of searching for a space in the adult world that wasn't prepared to care for them. I became a med-peds doctor because I wanted the skills to explore this niche of medicine called transition. The countless hours in the exam room, the late nights diving deep into the recesses of patient charts to find morsels of history which have shaped their stories, gives me the inspiration to ensure that all young adults with medical complexity and intellectual and developmental disabilities can find their place to thrive and create their own story. Tori currently holds multiple roles at Gillette Children's in St. Paul, including internal medicine and pediatrics complex care physician, section chief of pediatrics, and clinical co-director of the Health Services Research Line. Her clinics are in St. Paul and Baxter, Minnesota. One day, I might be supporting a refugee who has just arrived in the US, carried on their mother's back, having never had access to health care or a wheelchair. The next, I'm helping a young woman with muscular dystrophy prepare for her first year of college, crafting a plan to keep her healthy while living hours away from home. Then, I head north to Baxter to assist a patient with a rare genetic diagnosis, easing the burden of navigating complex healthcare systems by bringing care closer to home. Each encounter deepens my commitment to the whole person care, medically sound, but also socially attuned, collaborative, and empowering. Tori created the Down Syndrome Clinic at Gillette Children's and the Healthcare Transition Learning Collaborative, plus the annual Minnesota Healthcare Transition Summit. The fourth annual is scheduled for 2026. In 2024, she won the Coppic Minnesota Medical Association Foundation Humanitarian Award, the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal 40 Under 40 Award, and the Minneapolis-St. Paul Magazine Top Doctors Rising Star for 2023, 24, and 25. With her husband, Paul Santh, and daughters, Eleanor and Emmeline, Tori travels the world, visiting 38 of the 63 U.S. national parks and stepping on every continent except Antarctica. Wherever she is, Tori shares her vision of a better world with all the lives she touches. Moved by the words of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, "Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." Escorted by Reese Johnson, please welcome Dr. Tori Barr. Judy Bialka, BHS class of 1986. Judy is honored posthumously after a valiant 6-year struggle with melanoma and brain cancer, which ended in 2015. Judy, only 47, accomplished so much with her life prior to and during her diagnosis and treatment. While attending BHS, Judy's activities included 5 years of varsity tennis and 3 years of varsity basketball. Her senior year, she was selected Female Athlete of the Year, earning a remarkable 8 varsity letters. She continued playing tennis while attending St. Cloud State University, becoming team captain for the Huskies, and competing in the 1991 NCAA tennis tournament. Judy earned a BS in finance with a concentration in English from St. Cloud State in 1991. Known by family and friends to possess independence, determination, and an energetic personality, Judy entered her career as a customer service representative who quickly gained experience and respect. This moved her rapidly up the ladder within a heavily male-dominated waste industry. Judy became one of a handful of women nationwide in the Allied Waste Services to lead employees, and did so for over 100 people in the Invergrove Heights arena. While working as a large customer sales representative with clients such as Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, Super America Stores, Anderson Windows, and Mall of America, she was nominated for Waste Management's Circle of Excellence Award 6 years in a row and won that award in 2005. In 2008, she created, owned, and operated Waste Concepts, her own sales and management consulting company. Judy was a contributing member of the Women's Council for Waste Equipment Technology Association, which promoted the industry and gave back through education networking and scholarships. Following her initial diagnosis of melanoma, she successfully instituted pink cart programs in Indiana and Minnesota. $5 from every pink cart purchased is donated to the American Cancer Society Breast Cancer Initiatives, and many receptacles may still be seen in certain areas of the Twin Cities. Judy spearheaded innovative fundraisers with trash cancer themes and included her trademarked Curb Cancer campaign. Customers could make optional contributions via garbage bills. The Angel Foundation also benefited from her brilliant capability to raise funds. Friends and family shared that Judy underwent surgery and radiation, retaining her personal nature and professional focus. A stroke paralyzed her left side, but Judy was determined to walk again, which she did after persevering through hours of physical therapy at the Courage Kennedy Rehabilitation Institute. Judy was an inspiration to others. One friend stated, "What an amazing friend she was. So many of us talked about how blessed we were to actually have her as our friend. She was ultra dedicated and followed through with her obligation even when life's problems got in the way." Judy excelled at training and relaying information in a way that made sense, getting everyone excited. She was successful both independently and as a team member, became an experienced sales professional, was brilliant at resolving emergency situations, and became an outstanding manager. Her friend added, clearly, she was meant to start her own company, Waste Concepts. Judy's positivity echoes through the words she often spoke. "It is what it is, and gratitude is my attitude." Escorted by Nola Altrichter, Sherry Schultes, Judy's sister, accepts this award, honoring Judy Bialka. Teresa Thiesing Goebel, Brainerd High School class of 1968. Teresa states, I was a member of the last graduating class from the old Washington High School. So was her husband. She later married classmate Lonnie Goebel, and together they raised 2 daughters and a son, from which 4 grandchildren entered their lives. Teresa was raised along with 9 siblings on a small dairy farm 15 miles south of Brainerd. Her education started in the Daggett Brook Township Country School, where it continued through 4th grade. In 1959, rural schools consolidated with Brainerd ISD 181, and she was bused to Lowell and Harrison Elementary, Franklin Junior High, and Washington. During high school, Teresa was involved in 4-H club activities, including parliamentary procedure contests. She gave resulting talks and demonstrations and exhibited calves, sheep, baked goods, and gardening endeavors at the county fair. She won blue ribbons for state fair exhibits. Along with standard high school courses, Teresa took business electives in typing, shorthand, bookkeeping, and office training, while also working in the lunchroom all 3 years. Shortly before graduation, the Fitzpatrick and Larson law firm asked the school to send a student who was proficient in shorthand and office training to be interviewed for a job. That shorthand instructor, Miss Margaret Rood, sent Teresa, who got the job that launched her administrative assistant career. Yes, Miss Rood became Teresa's favorite and most influential teacher. Principal Don Adamson and band director Marvin Campbell also mentored her, and she states, "Never hesitate to ask for advice and critique from someone you admire and wish to emulate." Taking these words to heart, Teresa completed a 34-year career with the City of Brainerd as clerk typist, deputy city clerk, finance director, and becoming the first female Brainerd City Administrator. She is a past president of Minnesota Municipal Clerks and Finance Officers Association, Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union, and Brainerd Rotary. She created Rotary Riverside Park, the Positive Charge campaign, and was instrumental in starting the kids voting program for ISD 181. In addition, she was Fort Ripley City Treasurer for 40 years. Teresa is honored with the Minnesota Quality Service Award, Minnesota Women in City Government Leadership Award, and is an honored lifetime member of Minnesota Municipal Clerks and Finance Officers Association. Teresa's educational, professional, and family journeys have been meaningfully and diligently interwoven through life. She took advantage of opportunities to attend night classes at Central Lakes Community College, along with any on-the-job training, continuing education, and certification training while establishing her professional career. Even when taking time off to raise a family, she volunteered as a 4-H club advisor and mentor alongside her participating children. One of her daughters, Deborah Goebel Erickson, who graduated from BHS in 1991 and was inducted into the Legendary Women Hall of Fame last year, credits her mother for modeling a career in public and community service. Together, Teresa and Deborah have become the first women from 2 generations of the same family to be honored as legendary women. In an effort to provide their family with a knowledge of ancestral history, she and her husband, Lonnie, published The Story of Us and surprised everyone with a bound hardcover copy one Christmas. It included 32 chapters with pictures, traditions, fashions, military service ports, childhood and school memories, food, and cooking, along with technical advances over time. Not only were family members overjoyed to receive this, but Teresa and Lonnie found it a good way to reminisce with each other about their life. Teresa can still recite the 4-H pledge, which she memorized and took seriously to heart. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. She embodies this ideal spoken by Saint Mother Teresa. Be humble and never think you are better than anyone else. We all leave this world with nothing. Escorted by Nora King, as Teresa watches via live stream from Arizona, Debbie Goebel Erickson accepts this award honoring her mother, Teresa Thiesing Goebel. Cheryl Wentworth Matheson, BHS class of 1981. Cheryl, impacted by the service-oriented actions of her parents, Dolores and Stephen, and her second mother, Ardell, declares, "I will choose to love first because love never fails." During her years at BHS, Cheryl was in varsity tennis, glee club, a cappella choir, a wrestling cheerleader, a member of the National Honor Society, and homecoming queen. She met her husband Tony at BHS. They now have 3 children, Todd, Megan, and Jacob, and 3 grandchildren. After high school, Cheryl earned her AA degree with honors at Brainerd Community College, her BS degree, magna cum laude, in special education at St. Cloud State, a work-based learning licensure at Bemidji State, and her MS in education at Winona State University, completing a capstone research project on character education. Cheryl became a teacher and work coordinator in 1985 for the work-based learning program at Northfield Public Schools Area Learning Center, an alternative high school for at-risk students. She created a program that focused on employability skills, life skills, character education, ethics, career, communication, service learning, and small business. In 2009, Cheryl became Teacher of the Year for the Northfield School District and a Minnesota Teacher of the Year semifinalist. In 2010, she won the Healthy Community Initiative Making a Difference Award for Soy Sense Candles, a nonprofit business she started in her class in 2005. Students made and marketed soy candles from her classroom, learning many aspects of business and donating all profits to the Northfield Food Shelf. In the 20 years of running this business, over $62,000 was donated. Cheryl was again honored for the Soy Sense Candles program in 2011 with both the State of Minnesota and the National Promising Practice Awards. Cheryl developed a backpack food program in 2010. Each week, her students filled and delivered 10 to 15 bags of foods to local schools to be given to families in need, totally funded through grants and donations. For this work, she was recognized with the 2014 Healthy Community Initiative Making a Difference Award. Cheryl's work experiences culminated with the 2019 Healthy Community Initiative Making a Difference Award for exceptional efforts to positively impact the lives of Northfield students. Every summer since 2005, Cheryl brings students up to the BWCA for 5 days of wilderness camping and canoeing. Navigating the wilderness requires the use of character traits like perseverance and determination, plus employability skills like teamwork and communication. Many students over the years expressed what a life-changing experience this was for them. Cheryl retired in 2025. For 40 years, I taught, encouraged, supported, and mentored my students, striving to creatively think outside the box to help motivate and inspire them to reach graduation, and sometimes just to get to the next day. I wanted us to look past ourselves and see others without judgment so that we could reach out, help, and make a difference despite the circumstances and choices surrounding an individual. We are all fighting battles. I kept this quote by Mother Teresa written on the board at the front of my classroom. If you judge others, you have no time to love them. Escorted by Fern Schmidt, please welcome Cheryl Wentworth Matheson. Shayla Paradise, BHS class of 2005. Shayla recounts, excuse me, I have a soft spot for Shayla. Shayla recounts, when I was 21, I stood in line for a Manhattan theater audition. I had just graduated conservatory and was pursuing my dream, the 907th young woman in line at 6 a.m. I stood in a daze as my mind's eye took me to Montana. I could taste the dusty granite of the mountain air and hear the trickling water of a rushing clear blue stream. I turned around and walked out the door. I landed in Glacier National Park. Trading my tap shoes for hiking boots, I burst into my truest self and became committed to telling the stories I love by living boldly as a hiker, naturalist, and deep lover of being alive. She says, I am a firm believer in living your story. Known on the trail as Kiddo, Shayla has walked 21,000 miles across country, mostly alone, from Georgia to Maine twice along the Appalachian Trail. Shayla continued through hiking from Mexico to Canada, along the Pacific Crest and Continental Divide trails, across New Zealand on the Te Araroa, across the Alps on the Haute Route, along the Great Ocean Walk of Australia, and many other treks across the lands she loves, particularly in Glacier National Park. She has managed not to get a smartphone and walked all the miles across country using maps and compass. While at BHS, Shayla was a part of a cappella choir, including independent voice study under Michael Smith. She was awarded Student of the Semester by David Devine and was accepted to Perpich Center for Arts Education for acting during her senior year. She was also active with CLC Community Theater and a founding member of On Stage Community Theater. She was a post-secondary enrollment student at Central Lakes College. Shayla completed her certificate for musical theater at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York, New York. She studied with Grammy Award-winning musician Victor Wooten. Shayla earned a wilderness EMT license through Erie Backcountry Medicine, Missoula, Montana, running several ultramarathons of 50 miles and one 100K. She also dedicated 12 years volunteering for National Park Service citizen science, doing field research on climate change. After publishing her book, Footprint of a Heart, 18,000 Miles of Stillness That Moves, in 2023, Shayla released her solo album titled On the Ground and several single recordings as duo Mateo and Shayla, in honor of the beautiful planet we get to call home. Her poetry is cited in the We Mood Datebook 2024 and 2026, and her essay can be found in Deep Wild Journals. She is the newly elected president of the nonprofit Authors of the Flathead. On September 21st, 2025, Shayla was invited to represent our country as a peace delegate in a spiritual pilgrimage for the United Nations on the International Day of Peace in Hiroshima, Japan. Humanitarian, public speaker, thru hiker, writer, composer, musician, actress, Shayla adds, I am grateful to be in service to the earth itself, to walk, to sing, to share, and to remind those who have forgotten that we are part of it and it is part of us. Shayla is inspired by Henry David Thoreau. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discovered that I had not lived. Escorted by Eleanor Schiller, please welcome Shayla Paradise.
incredibly inspiring. Oh my. Thank you, Lauren, for doing such a beautiful job of reading these amazing bios of our newest inductees. The BHS School song we heard was recorded by Brainerd native Lawrence Sievert. I welcome legendary woman Dr. Tori Barr to share an inductee message.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'm truly humbled to be here today along these incredible women and the 60 previous inductees we join as legendary women of Brainerd. Collectively, our diverse journeys and accomplishments demonstrate that there is no one right way for a woman to be, but rather prove the world is made better by diverse experiences and dreams of the future. As a group of inductees, we represent a near complete learning journey through the Brainerd School District, having attended Baxter, Garfield, Harrison, Lincoln, Lowell, and Riverside Elementaries, Washington Middle School, Franklin Junior High, Washington High School, Brainerd High School, and even taking advantage of the CLC PSEO program. Our accomplishments are rooted in the compassion and strength of the teachers, guidance counselors, and coaches of ISD 181. I surely would not be where I am today without these incredible leaders. Teachers who use their gifts to foster learning in an ambitious second grader asking for extra homework. Shout out to Mrs. Agri. Planted the love of science deep in my heart through particularly interesting mealworm and roadkill experiments. Shout out to Mrs. Harrison. Helped me apply for every scholarship I qualified for so I could afford college. Shout out to Deb Balzer-Plageman. And were there to guide me through periods of overactive perfectionism. Shout out to Mr. Grant Wilcox. Teachers, coaches, and guidance counselors inspire children every day to love learning, to ask questions, to be kind, and to foster resilience. In these times, it is required of all of us to advocate for teachers to have the ability to do their important job of raising the future generation. Thank you to all our teachers. From teachers, I learned to embrace the possibility of what could be. This is carried through my life and are the words that I have scrawled across the whiteboard in my office. Ahead of tonight, I asked my fellow inductees to help me reflect on the question, what advice would we give young women and girls in the audience tonight reflecting on their own journeys? And our answers actually kind of centered nicely along these lines. So, to the young women and girls here tonight and my two creative, kind, and imaginative little daughters, we encourage you to explore. There are so many opportunities out there. Don't let prejudices and what society says you should do hold you back. You have talents and skills and gifts and abilities that are unique and are needed in the world. Explore them and how you can use them. Follow your heart. If the choices you make are rooted from that inner guidance, you'll be somewhere with yourself each step of the way. And with this strength, you can do what you set your mind and heart to do. That said, it's not going to be easy. There are going to be challenges, and there's going to be lots of them. Many will tell you what could be just simply is not possible. But keep your eyes focused on your goals, and when that adversity comes, just take the next step and the next one. You might not walk like 20,000 miles, but that's okay. We don't always get to see the top of the staircase when we start. So focus on what you can control and keep moving forward and give yourself some grace. Perseverance happens just one step at a time. We don't achieve our goals alone. Surround yourself with positive, uplifting people. They will remind you your strengths. They will help you keep perspective and build your resilience when things feel overwhelming. They don't get to choose your goals, though. That's all on you. So follow your heart and get creative. Your goals can and should evolve as you grow and learn. Embrace the possibility of what could be. These are the words I see every day I walk in my office, and the words I go back to when I'm struggling or when there's a challenge that needs to be solved. I answered a Craigslist ad to be a personal care assistant to a young woman with muscular dystrophy when I was trying to figure out, should I really be that doctor? The thing I said when I was a second grader asking for that extra homework. And through this, I learned there is a tremendous gap in the care of people with childhood onset disabilities as they age into adulthood. And through exploring and dreaming about what could be, I was able to create my dream job of a med-peds complex care medicine doctor with a focus on pediatric to adult healthcare transition. I feel incredibly grateful to lead the practice of this care in Minnesota and to bring it to the Brainerd Lakes area twice a month to give back to this community that raised me. All children and young adults have the right to dream big about their future. I'm so grateful to be a part of their journey, just as so many in this community have been in mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori, for your beautiful message on behalf of all of our amazing inductees. As our event concludes, I would like to give a warrior shout out to the Legendary Women Organizing Committee. We are a warrior team. You will find our committee members listed in the program. I am of Finnish heritage, and there's a word in the Finnish language with synonyms of commitment, resilience, drive, grit, innovation, and that word is sisu. Sisu certainly describes our legendary women, and sisu describes my committee teammates. I am grateful to be a teammate with these warriors. Thank you, Brainerd Public Schools and Archives, for supporting legendary women. In your program are listed individuals, businesses, organizations that make this important endeavor possible. If you would like to see this program continue to thrive and grow, consider a donation to Legendary Women. You will find a donation QR code in the program. Also in your program is a QR code which links to the nomination form. If you have a graduate in mind you would like to nominate, please do so. To our Forest View Middle School escorts, thank you for being a part of this beautiful ceremony. You are 9 years into your school experience and will soon begin your final 4 years at Brainerd High School. Continue to dream big, value your skills, and value your voice. We are grateful for your time and connection this evening, celebrating these inspiring women. Feel free to continue conversations and enjoy light refreshments in the lobby. Legendary women and escorts, please stay on stage, and any previously inducted legendary women who are here in our audience, please meet on stage as well for a few quick photographs. Thank you, everyone. Go Warriors. All right. Okay, and we can go mingle in the lobby and enjoy refreshments. We're going to take your pictures, escorts and legendary women, and other legendary women who are here. Please come up. Thank you.
We were growing, the water was flowing, then you took us out of the here and the now. Hey, 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 explainer, it couldn't be plainer that you don't think I'm on a rise to the task. I feel disrespected, you're self-elected, advice can be nice, I didn't ask. I wish that I could bring you down to all the lovely people sitting on the ground, 'cause everybody here has got something to prove, and when you run your mouth you can't hear anything. Hey, 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 bulldozer, won't you come closer? We don't